Right, today I'm going to be talking about conversation techniques, and this involved how you can start a conversation, how you can maintain a conversation, and as well as closing a conversation. And when others are trying to close, how can you pull your head up and get a bit of a social credit for this? Now, for a start, starting up a conversation, you can start out by asking them questions that are easy for people to answer. And a good balance is around two or three closed questions that have short answers. Then an open questions where they have to think and talk more. So earlier on, it is often better, even with open questions, to keep them simple and easy. So when doing this, remember to sustain interest in them and what they have to say. Easy questions can lead to stuck answers, but remember that the goal is to get the conversation going and discover what that person really is. And I could give you a bit of a clue on some topics you can talk about, and I do quite know that quite a lot of you know that you can talk about the weather, you can talk about recent news, but you have to be careful. Some difficult topics may lead to emotional arousal, and you don't want to do that. You can talk about family, siblings, where they live, etc. You can talk about history, yeah, for example, where they went to, where they have lived. Talk about work, what they do, and what they even do at work as well. Holidays, hobbies, and sports. Obviously, these are very interesting topics you can talk about. I can give you an example. For example, isn't it a great day? Did you get out in the sunshine today? Did you hear about the accident downtown? Do you have a brother called Joe? I do like your dress. Where did you get it from? And you can continue talking about them, ask them questions about themselves. If you do not know their name, you can start there. Then again, you can compliment them about their appearance. Ask them whether they got that nice suit, watch, hat, or whatever. You can comment on their cheery condition, ask them about why they're looking a bit down, say they look distracted and ask why. Ask if they have a family, the names of their children, how old they are, how they're doing in school, and so on. Ask about occupation, career, plans for the future. As I mentioned earlier, ask about hobbies, interests, and what they do with your spare time. Then again, you've got to pay particular attention when they give you an answer. Show interest not only in the answer but in them as well, as possibly evoking a betrayal response. And when they tell you something, show interest in it. Follow up with some questions. You look thoughtful. What's up? What are you going to do this weekend? This is a lovely jumper. Where did you get it from? Talking about yourself. Personally, I hate doing this because that's, not to appear ignorant. Sorry, not to appear arrogant. I'm trying to say, I only answer when I'm being asked. Then another very important technique is about wit and wisdom. Open a conversation with some witty, remarks. This is obviously designed to either amaze, annoy, or otherwise trigger an interesting conversation. For example, say something very funny. My dog wanted to come out to nap, but he didn't have a suitable tie. My God, if I were you, I would be careful about seeing with someone like me. Anyway, displaying which signal that you're interested in something outside of a normal mundane conversation. Wit must be played very carefully, as it can easily, annoy some people. But if you do not mind winding up a few people, then even this can lead to interesting conversation. So you can try some of these examples. For example, let me think. Well, it's very sad to see that nowadays there's little useless information around. That's an idea. Try wind up women a bit if you're talking to a woman. A woman can discover everything except the obvious. Some women can get very, very, very close with you when you do that. Well, again, then the husbands of very beautiful women often belong to the criminal classes. A man can be happy with any woman so long as he does not love her. You can try all these things. Remember, you are meant to trigger off some response. Maybe good, maybe bad. And if it turns out it's not very good, it all depends on how you handle it. Then, during the conversations, you reflect, as in bouncing back what you've said. You can interrupt in a nice way, as in taking back control so you can speak and you can sustain the conversation. Importantly, when you're closing down a conversation, right? If some people find it difficult to start a conversation, others find problems keeping it going. It can also be difficult to close a conversation, so you can either move to another topic or move away to talk with someone else. Closing down a conversation can also seem like bad manners, and to interrupt and walk away from somebody might make you wonder if they will think badly of you for this terrible social act. In other words, if you do it well, you would only leave them with a warm glow. How can you do it? Closed questions, create short answers, or basically you declare a completion, as in say when the conversation is ended. Excuse yourself. You want to go to toilet or something and leave. You can feign ignorance, as in being unable to answer questions. You don't remain dumb, and the person sees it, okay, and gets the message. Well, you can introduce your friend. If the conversation is getting boring, well, you can introduce a friend and hope that helps you out of that moment. Out of time, you can have another appointment. Or a lot of people do this. They use the phone call anyway. Use the phone to call you away. Get your phone ringing and then just move up. Right, most important, and guys, you've got to note this when others try to close a conversation. Very, very important. You can gain a lot of social credit by noticing this and gracefully letting them go. A good point is to say, I can see you need to leave. Go on, I'm just fine. Enjoy this.